Welcome to the Texas Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you join us this evening. We have 5 wonderful institutions with us that will take 6 minutes to share information about their college with you. My name is Danielle, and I will be your facilitator throughout this session. Before we get started, I do want to start with a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are muted, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. I encourage you to use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions at any time throughout the presentation. Remember, this is just one of many different sessions that are taking place, so be sure to stop in for a few others this evening. And this recording will be available at strivescan.com/Texas. All right, I'd now like to start with our first presenter, Lawrence University.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen really quick with you, and we'll get started. So my name is Jaime Gonzalez. I'm the Director of Transfer, Admission, and Transition at Lawrence University. And so I help students from the moment they're interested in transferring all the way up until their first term, making sure that you transition into campus, connected to resources, and feel settled in. And so if you haven't heard of Lawrence University or even Appleton, Wisconsin, we are located about 3 hours north of Chicago and about 4 hours from the Twin Cities. And so it's pretty easy to get to those places. We are a city. And so I tell people we are in Wisconsin. There are cows if you want to see them, but we're located in a city and there are no cows there. The next thing to know is that we are a small private liberal arts college, and we have a College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and a Conservatory of Music. Our Conservatory of Music houses about 20% of our students, and even though it has a big presence on our campus, we're not just a music school. So we have both the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, where you'll receive a Bachelor of Arts degree and are able to choose from 40 different majors. Like I said, the sciences, the arts, the humanities. Some of our popular ones right now are biology, computer science, economics, English, physics, and pre-med, which are also really popular. If you are interested in music and continuing with music professionally, our Conservatory of Music does have a Bachelor of Music program with performance, education, theory, and composition as your majors, as well as a jazz and improvisation major, which is the Bachelor of Music Arts degree. And so the other thing to know about Lawrence is that we are a liberal arts institution. And so what that means is that you're going to be challenged and pushed to think cross-disciplinary. And you'll notice that a lot of our courses, even though you have a specific major, will draw from different disciplines because we really believe that answering life's big questions can't be done from just one major. And so we do have a lot of students who are what we call multi-interested, and we do encourage those students to do a major, double major, and even our transfer students are coming in with major and minors in mind that they're also able to complete within the timeline that they're looking for. The next thing to know is that we are a small campus, and so we have small student-faculty ratios. Our teacher-faculty ratio right now, our student-faculty ratio right now is 8-to-1, and so at Lawrence, a class of 12 is pretty big for us, and so I don't necessarily think that you'll be in a class larger than 15 students. One of the great things about that is that we're also on a trimester schedule, and so you're only taking 3 classes per term, and so we have 3 terms, fall, winter, and spring, and you take 3 classes each. Within those, we also have the opportunity for students to take part in what we call independent studies, which is why this one over here is a different color, because we offer one-on-one coursework between a student and a professor. And so if you're in a major or an area that you're interested in and you want to dive a little bit deeper into an area that you're really passionate about, or you're thinking about moving on to for a career or graduate school, you can propose that to a professor to work on that one-on-one, meet weekly, and then decide how you want to present what you've learned throughout that term. And so the schedule really does give you the flexibility to mix and match areas, get that attention and support from your professors as you're continuing on to receive your degree. Next thing is that we're not going to just keep you in the classroom. We don't really believe in lecturing to you from a podium. We've actually reshaped and rebuilt a lot of our departments and our buildings so that they are more collaborative based. And so you're going to be in classrooms with students having very discussion based, project based, hands-on work in the coursework that you're doing, because we're really preparing you for your life after Lawrence and giving you the skills that you need to be a scientist, to be a writer, to be an artist, whatever major that you're going into. We really want to prepare you to have those skills that you'll need to do the work in those areas. And so students have a variety of different opportunities like research, whether that's in your classroom, through an independent study project over the summer. We do have access to funding for you to be able to take part in summer research and pay you for that, or to cover housing costs or travel or transportation costs if you got a really cool research or even internship opportunity somewhere else. We have a really strong alumni network, and so we always encourage students to get connected with that way, pick a place and we'll support you. And then there are a variety of different opportunities for study abroad and service in the community. Lawrence students are also very actively involved in the campus and in the community too. We have 100 different clubs and organizations. Our transfer students, unless you're married or have kids or been out of school for a very long time, you do have the option to still live on campus. You will live in upper class housing or apartment style living with other transfer students. Because we're a very residential campus, a lot is happening on our campus in the evenings for you to take part in. And so it really gives you the opportunity to stay connected. For applying, we need a variety of different things. You can use the transfer app and the Common App. These are just some of those areas that we recommend. We are test optional, and so want to make sure that you know that not submitting a test score does not negatively impact you. And so we do ask for recommendation letters if you can get them, and then recommend doing an interview, which is just a chat between me and you to get a sense of what your plans are, what your interests are, and what you're looking for out of your next college. And then the last thing I will say is that we are taking accepting applications for the fall. The deadline is July 31st. We also have a winter term start, which you'll start the first week of January as well, if you're interested. And just letting you know too, that transfer students are considered for renewable scholarships, similar to the way our first year students are. And those range anywhere from $20,000 to $32,000. And for our Phi Theta Kappa students, if you are a member, you will receive our highest scholarship. And so with that, I'll just leave it with my contact information, and then also encourage you to do a transfer credit review on our website, and pass it back to Danielle.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Loyola University, New Orleans.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen really quickly. I hope that you guys can see this. My name is Ma'at Bingham. I am an admissions counselor at Loyola University, New Orleans. I actually typically work with first-year undergraduates, and I'm covering for my colleague, Jamie Blanche, who couldn't be here tonight, but she would be more than happy to field any questions that you guys may have that are a little bit more transfer related. So I hope I can help answer some preliminary questions that you guys may have about Loyola today. So Loyola University, New Orleans is a small liberal arts Jesuit institution. We've got about 3,200 undergraduate students currently, and our average class size is about 23 students. I'm actually a Loyola University graduate myself. I graduated back in May of 21 with a popular commercial music major, one of the many majors that we offer at Loyola. We have over 100 undergraduate majors. Some of our most popular ones would be business, psychology, sociology, criminology and justice, pre-nursing, music industry studies, and honestly, just so many more. We have about 130 student organizations on campus, and these are just some general overviews about some of the stats that we have. We are located in the city of New Orleans. If you can see on the little map there, our university is located uptown, about 20 minutes away from the French Quarter, which is what most people know New Orleans for. We're located right in front of the streetcar line, so you can just hop on the streetcar and take that all the way down to the French Quarter, which is super convenient and super easy for students. With a lot of films that are being filmed on campus. Right now they're filming something, and they filmed Happy Day as well as some scenes from 22 Jump Street. So very lively campus as well as just a lively city. Audubon Park is across the street, and they do tend to film a lot of things there as well. As I mentioned, we are a Jesuit institution. So if you don't know anything about the Jesuit identity, it's just focused on, curing for the personality as a whole. We want to focus on not just your grades, but your mind and your body. And so we try to give you all the resources that you will need in order to be a successful human overall. We have 3 different colleges at Loyola University, New Orleans. We have the College of Business that I mentioned before. These are some of the programs that we offer for students. I always like to talk about the stock trading room, which is something that has been really cool for students. Every year they invest into the stock market, and whatever money is left over goes to the next set of incoming freshmen. So that's a cool opportunity for students to be a part of. We also have the College of Arts and Sciences, which is one of our most popular colleges, as it is home to many of our majors that are listed here. Poli-sci is another popular major, especially with the whole Jesuit values, a lot of community service and giving back. And so those kind of go hand in hand. And of course, our College of Music and Media, which is a very popular college. We have so many different music majors. So if you're interested in applying for a music degree, definitely encourage you to reach out to Gloria Hill, who works with all of our music majors, and just so you can figure out exactly, what program you're interested in and looking for. As a music major myself, I can speak to some of the facilities that we have. We have great recording studios, as well as practice rooms, and just things are always growing every day. Here are some of the stats on our first year students from the class of 25. This does include transfer students as well. Unfortunately, I don't have too many specific stats on transfer students for you guys today, but just a general overview of some of the things. We're about 53% of students coming from out of state and 43% of students coming from the Louisiana area, and 4% of our students are international students. This is the largest incoming freshman class that we've had in a very long time, and it's definitely something that we're proud to see. Again, we have over 130 student organizations on campus. A lot of those are focused on leadership, diversity and inclusion, and social justice. Some popular ones are going to be the University Programming Board, as well as SGA. We have weekly events on campus. Most of the time, it's just some student performers or some free food. So just like a good time to hang out with students in the quad. Lots of time is honestly spent outdoors, and I think students really enjoy that. Also kind of speaking towards student life, we have our Student Success Center, which is just a hodgepodge of everything that you might need, from peer tutoring to career coaching. So definitely make sure you're taking advantage of all of the resources that we provide at Loyola. We are NAIA Division I sports. Here are some of the sports teams that we offer. We have 18 of the sports teams for athletics, and I'm running out of time here, so I'm quickly going to show you guys a slide about transferring, a personal statement, letter of recommendation, transfer credits from colleges and high school, and those are some of the scholarships that we offer for transfer students. I will put Ms. Blanche's information in the chat, and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is from Lynn University.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. I'm excited representing Lynn University here. I work with every transfer student from Texas. Now, if you're looking at Lynn to transfer, you're looking at Lynn for a few reasons. The first one is because you're tired of the traditional college experience and taking 5 courses during a week. So you decide you're looking at Lynn because we have a block schedule, which means you only take 1 or 2 courses every 4 weeks, Monday through Thursdays, for 2.5 hours per day. Fridays are reserved for guest speakers or experiential-based learning. So for example, we have a series called the F'd Up series. Every Friday, we bring in CEOs to talk about their experience and really talking about their failures, their successes, and how they're running an organization in a global pandemic. Now, let's say you're also tired of taking English 101, College Algebra 101, Science 101. We have a unique core curriculum that's really focused on the issues in today's society, and English, math, and science actually become embedded into your degree. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're transferring to Lynn and you're majoring in criminal justice. One of the English courses you'll have, it's called the Nuremberg trials, in which you will actually pick a defendant and you'll present whether they should be convicted or acquitted of their crimes from World War II. Let's say you're taking math, you'll take violence in society. So you'll learn about the dark crimes through the FBI and socioeconomical situations and why some crimes happen in certain areas. And then for science, instead of dissecting a frog, on Fridays, you'll take forensics investigation and you will actually solve mock murder mysteries on campus. Real yellow tape, real blood splatter. It's always interesting when we have to tell families that it's not really a crime scene because we make it look very real. Now, at Lynn University, we no longer sell textbooks. So if you're looking at Lynn, you don't have to worry about spending another $3,000 on textbooks that you try to read, maybe 1 or 2 chapters, and you try to sell them and you're only getting about $10 back. All of our students receive an iPad Pro. What's great about Lynn is you're coming to Lynn not because of the iPad Pro, but because of the ecosystem behind it. For example, all the books have been pre-downloaded. So let's say you're more of an audio learner, you can highlight the passage, it'll read it back to you. Highlight the passage, it'll make it into a note section. Lynn University is designed for Generation Z. And to give an example, every morning we're going through CNN, Fox News, Twitter, and we're making comparative analysis on what's going on with Russia and Ukraine right now. So just because you're in a class for 2.5 hours, the world doesn't stop. So we are meeting you where you are. Now, we're a small school. We're 3,000 students out of Boca Raton, Florida. And luckily, Lynn is built around the city. Boca Raton is not built around Lynn, so we can maximize all the resources. I'm gonna give you a few fun facts about our 6 different colleges. So if you're looking to become a pilot, I will teach you how to fly a plane, but I can't teach you how to build it. We are based out of the Boca Executive Airport. The fun fact here is you can obtain your private, your commercial, and your instrumental rating while at Lynn. Secondly, we have our College of Arts and Sciences. Our fun fact here is we actually have a partnership with the Washington Internship Institute program. So even as a transfer student, you can head to Washington, D.C., and you can work with senators, congressmen, lobbyists, the United Nations, or any aspect within Washington, D.C. on policy making. So if you're ready to become a difference maker, Arts and Sciences is the perfect fit for you. Now, our most popular college is our College of Business and Management. The fun fact there is we have over 1,500 multinational corporations in our own backyard. That means there's over 1,500 different internships. Students looking at us from Texas really love our sports management program, and our students actually just got back from the NCAA Final Four. We are relentlessly entrepreneur, and we just developed a new toothpaste called Habit under our entrepreneurship program. In the morning to help you wake up, it has caffeine, and then at night, it has melatonin to help you rest, because mint wakes people up. And then fashion retail, our students during their junior year, they actually create their own fashion show on campus. Now, our next popular majors are College of Communication Design. Our fun fact here is our students actually worked on Marvel's Endgame, which is the largest grossing film in history. And we just received a $200,000 donation for our film production program, in which we are now called Brand Star Studios. So our whole studios have LED walls now, just like the Mandalorian. Our last 2 colleges, our College of Education, as I mentioned, Fridays are reserved for experiential-based learning. So on Fridays, you can actually be a substitute teacher in our Conservatory of Music. If you're offered full admission, you do receive a full tuition scholarship. Now, even though you may be arriving as a transfer student at Lynn, it takes a village to raise a human being. These are all the individuals that will be with you during your whole time at the university. You'll have me, and you'll have an academic advisor, so someone that will help you register for courses, peer mentor, and so many other opportunities. I look forward to seeing your application or hearing from you. I will be posting my information in the chat room shortly. Take care, and hopefully we'll stay in communication.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from the University of Roehampton, London.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Lundberg, and I'm with the University of Roehampton, London. Just going to have my screen shared for you there. All right. Well, as you can hear, I'm from the US. I'm not from London, but I did live there for many, many years, and I'm excited to share with you a little more about why you should choose to study at Roehampton. All right, so a few facts and figures about our great city and country. London is the capital of England with a population of around 9 million people. There are over 300 languages spoken in London alone, a very diverse city. England itself is actually smaller than you think. It's only a fifth of the size of Texas, where I'm currently at as well, which is why it's surprising that we have so many international airports. But with all of these airports, you're going to have amazing and cheap access to Europe. And then I've just listed a few things to expect while you're living in the UK. Talking about the weather is a constant, as well as football, which of course we call soccer here. You're going to be drinking lots of tea. You're going to experience utter politeness, and you're going to have a much better chocolate options available to you. And of course, you can't leave off great humor. England itself is a global influence, and it would be on its own the 8th largest economy in the world. So jumping into Roehampton, we are considered London's campus university, which is unique amongst London universities. We're situated on a 54-acre beautiful parkland setting in Southwest London. We have been providing education for over 180 years now. And as a fun fact, we were actually the first college of higher ed in the UK to admit women, to educate women. So we're really, really proud of that. We've also been ranked as the best modern university in London. So we have a very diverse student population. Of course, we've just seen how many languages are spoken in London alone. But on campus, we have 9,000 students enrolled, of whom 28% come from outside of the UK, which represent 145 different nationalities on campus. 93% of our students are in employment or further education upon graduation. And we are a very much research-led institution. We've been voted the most research-intensive modern university in the UK. And just this year, we were ranked second amongst London universities for student satisfaction. So as you've already seen our campus is lush and it's green, but with the proximity to London, you get the best of both worlds, both city and nature. We're just down the River Thames from London's popular tourist attractions. We're very near Wimbledon, and we have London's largest royal park right in our back garden. Public transportation in London is fantastic. You're not going to need a car while you're studying with us. We have a free university bus that you can make use of, and then there'll also be loads of local buses, trains, tubes, and trams that you can use to get around as well. So our degrees in the UK are shorter than in the US, so you could have 2 in the time it takes you to get 1 here. So the way it works is you can choose either a single subject or you can choose 2 subjects within similar disciplines. We have no general education requirements, so UK degrees are academically challenging, but they're very specialized as well. So a little bit more about transferring specifically. We absolutely welcome transfer students. Requirements do vary slightly from program to program. We do look at these on a case-by-case basis, but typically what we look for is a GPA of 2.6 at a minimum, successful completion of an associate's degree or 2 years of a 4-year bachelor's degree typically. Again, because we have no GE requirements, your completed courses must be in a relevant to the course you want to study with us. But this usually looks like 6 courses from year 1 or year 2 with a B average in those relevant classes. So that's typically what we're looking for, but case-by-case basis we can work with you individually on that. And then you can also see our year 1 entry requirements here as well. We are completely test optional. And then we have, and so only some subjects like life sciences, creative writing, and English have a relevant subject grade that's required. Making an application is going to be super simple. You can either apply through UCAS, which is like our version of the Common App, or you can apply through our free online application, which is super, super simple and of course free. We have rolling admissions, which means there's no hard deadlines to apply. We're still considering applications for September. You can apply to start in September, January, or April. So we look at applications on that rolling basis. In terms of overall costs, we're very affordable, especially considering you're saving a year of tuition with our 3-year undergrad programs. The total cost is roughly around $36,000 per year. We have numerous scholarships, as you can see here, and most of our US students utilize FAFSA for federal or Parent Plus loans. Support for our students is utmost. No matter what your needs are, we're going to be there to help. So we offer learning supports as well as career and financial support. We also have a medical center on campus, and every student upon the first day of studying with us, you'll have a personal tutor as well. As far as accommodation goes, we do guarantee this for all of our international students. You can stay on campus all 3 years, or you can live in private all 3 years, whatever would suit you best. All of our rooms are single occupancy, and they're set up more like apartments. So you're going to have a shared kitchen. You could choose to have your own private bathroom or to share with a few students if you wanted to save a little bit of money. But it's very affordable for London accommodation. And of course, we've got loads going on campus. I couldn't possibly tell you about all of it. But the main thing to note here is just that there's so much that you can get involved with. And the biggest thing for me is that the ethos at Roehampton is based off of social justice and equality. So we have a major focus of putting everyone on an equal playing field. And with a smaller size and diverse campus, you're going to meet people from all over the world, which is a plus as well. I'm not going to show you much of this, but we do have some sports you can play competitively or socially. And if you're a soccer player, make sure you let me know, because we've got a fantastic program where you can train it with a professional team while you're getting your degree with us. And that brings me to the final slide. So thank you so much for your time today. Feel free to scan any of these for more information. Please do get in touch if you have any questions. But thank you again, and good luck with your college search.
Thank you. Our last presenter will be the University of Stirling. And after the University of Stirling, all of our college representatives will come back to the screen and we'll go through a few questions, giving you advice about how to navigate the search. I'll turn it over now.
Brilliant, thank you. I'll just share my screen. Okay, I hope you can all see that. My name is Michelle Sauer. I'm jumping in for my colleague, Ali Clark, who couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, but I am the International Recruitment Officer for the Americas at the University of Stirling in Scotland. You'll notice some QR codes on all of my slides here. So if you do want any more information at any point, you can feel free to just scan that and you'll get a bit more than the quick overview that I'm going to give you here. So as a brief introduction kind of to Stirling, we are in the top 30 in the United Kingdom on the list of universities, of the best universities within the UK. We do have about 14,000 students. You see the breakdown there with undergrad and postgrad, as well as 1,500 staff, and across our students, we do represent over 120 nationalities. So if you do choose to transfer and come study in Scotland, you'll be amongst a very diverse group of students studying in Scotland. We're also top 20 in the UK for student satisfaction, and we are the Sports University of the Year in the United Kingdom. So for those of you who might not be overly familiar with Scotland, which I certainly wasn't when I first moved over to the UK, you will be studying in the heart of Scotland. So you're pretty much equidistant in Stirling from Glasgow, which is Scotland's largest city, and Edinburgh, which is its capital. This gives you great access to a lot of culture, a lot of great restaurants and things to do. But we are also considered the gateway to the Highlands and the islands. So if you are particularly outdoorsy, or if you just love exploring the wilderness, you have that right at your fingertips, in addition to all of that city life that you'll also enjoy. We are an American-style campus, which is a little bit unusual within Scotland and the UK in general. So you will be completely compact at Stirling. Everything that you'll need is at your fingertips across our absolutely stunning campus, which also includes our loch, which you'll see in the middle there, as well as our Airthry Castle. So you will be able to tell all of your friends that you're studying on a campus that includes a castle. But it is an absolutely stunning campus. Everything that you need, like I said, is right at your fingertips. And it is a unique setting to be at within the United Kingdom. And now, while you are in this setting, you are also a mere 10 minutes away from Stirling City Centre, which gives you access to the rest of Scotland as well, and includes some wonderful restaurants, shopping, and any of the amenities that you would expect in kind of a normal university town across the UK, or indeed in the US and Texas. We have been rated the first in the United Kingdom and top 5 in the world for campus environment. Okay, so to talk about kind of what you can study with us a little bit. We do have a wide range, as you can see here, of undergraduate degrees that you can study with us across our 5 different colleges. So we do have arts and humanities, health science and sport, natural sciences, social sciences, and our management school. So pretty much anything that you want to study, you can study at the University of Stirling. But one thing that is a bit unique about studying in Scotland versus the rest of the United Kingdom is the flexibility that you do get in terms of what you're able to study. So as it's already been mentioned, UK degrees are quite specialized, but within Scotland in particular, you have quite a bit of flexibility to explore things outside of your main subject, which is what you would kind of expect to see at a US institution as well. So you get a bit of familiarity at home while still being studying abroad. Scottish institutions are 4-year courses as well, which is a bit different to the other UK institutions throughout the UK, Wales, and Northern Ireland. In terms of what you would need if you are considering transferring and studying in the United Kingdom and Scotland in general, are our basic undergraduate requirements. We are test optional, so what we're really looking for is a 3.0 unweighted GPA. If you do choose to submit that test, we're looking for 26 ACT, 1200 SAT, or 2 APs at a 3 or above. And as standard with all of our applications, we're looking for that academic reference and a personal statement. You can apply to us through UCAS, the Common App, or you can apply directly on the University of Stirling website as well. We have a number of different scholarships that are available to you, including our undergraduate international student scholarship, which you would all be eligible for, and as well as a number of sports scholarships. As I mentioned, we are the Sports University of the Year in the United Kingdom. So if you are particularly sporty, you can definitely get involved, and we may be able to offer you a scholarship for that. And in addition to that, there are a number of different funding sources that you can use with our institution, including your US federal loans, FAFSA, as well as private loans like Sallie Mae. Having a look at our tuition fees, you are looking at around $21,000 per year for a classroom-based course, or 25 for a lab-based course. And we are actually the lowest cost of living in the United Kingdom. So the cost of living that you're looking at is between about $10,000 and $13,000, and that is quite a generous estimate on our part. So it is quite affordable and quite livable to come study in Scotland at Stirling. Just a brief overview on our accommodation, because I do feel like I'm running a bit short on time. We do have apartment style living. So anybody who comes and studies with us will have kind of their own private room, which is a bit different to dorms. So your bed itself, you're not sharing a room with anybody else. And you do have ensuite available as well. All of our accommodation has staff to support you 24/7. And they're both on-campus locations and off-campus locations if you'd like to live closer to the city itself rather than being directly on campus. There are a lot of options available in terms of how you would like to live in Scotland. And that is me done. If you do have any questions, you can get in touch with me. My name is Michelle Sauer, or you can get in touch with our manager, Jason Vaya, who will be happy to answer any of your questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, so let's bring all of our college representatives back to the screen, and we are going to spend a little bit of time going through just some advice that you all could share. So my first question to our college representatives: what advice would you like to share with students who are going through the college search process? And we'll kick it off. There we go.
Yeah, the advice I would always give is to reach out to the admissions counselor that you're working with, the transfer coordinator, whoever it is that is like assigned to you or that you know can help answer your questions. I know it sometimes feels like it's easier to just search online and gather all the information that you need, and sometimes transferring is a little tricky or you're not really sure if you want to do it. But really, we're here to help you. And so we always want to see an email from you. You can jump on Zoom. We can do a phone call while you're at work, or like leaving work, whatever it is. Like, just feel free to connect with us, because we're all friendly people and we really want to help you figure out kind of what your plans are.
Yes, kind of going off of that, I would definitely encourage you to reach out to any administration that's there to help you, especially if you're transferring, kind of to hone in a little bit more, I would definitely focus on researching your majors and making sure, that's exactly what you're interested in. And especially if you're transferring, you want to make sure. And admissions counselors and staff, we tend to know the ins and outs. We tend to know what classes you have to take and everything. So definitely just kind of honing in and doing all the research that you can to try and make really the best decision for yourself.
I think if you're looking to transfer, you're looking to transfer for a particular reason. Make sure that whatever school you're looking for has that it factor for you. Just because it didn't work out the first time doesn't mean the second time it won't work out. And then secondly, make sure that that as many credits as you took, you're able to transfer in. Not every college is going to accept every credit. As long as you're fine with that, everything will work out.
Yeah, I would agree with everything everyone said so far. But I would also say, just think about what you really want from your college experience. Obviously, as a transfer student, you may have loved what you've been doing so far at a community college, but you want to finish that bachelor's degree. But think about what you want. Do you want a city experience? Do you want a suburban experience? Do you want something where you've got like a main campus? Do you want something that's more spread out? Do you want a diverse campus? There's so many things that you can think through. It's overwhelming, I'm sure, but just to kind of really give that a good thing, good think through before you start to make your applications. And I think, as everyone has said as well, just keep in touch with us. We're here for you. We're here as a resource to you, for you, so that we can help you with this search. And I love helping students be able to, even if we're not the right fit, I'll always pass you on to someone who I might know is a better fit. So that's my best advice.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that everyone has said as well. I hate being the one going last. It feels like I might be a bit of a broken record here. From an international perspective, I would say if you're looking to transfer and looking to study in the United Kingdom in particular, I would place quite a lot of emphasis on looking for the course that is the right fit at the right institution for you, because it is quite a long time to spend away from home. So you want to make sure that you're in a place where what you're doing definitely makes you happy. And then on top of that, if you do choose to study internationally, make sure that you take the time at the start of your term to really figure out what the support services look like at the new institution that you're at, because they'll often be called different things in the United Kingdom from what those services are called back home that you would be used to. They all definitely exist, but they might be a bit more difficult to find. But I would always say up front, make sure that you know what services are available to you and what they're called and where to find them, because eventually you will need them, and you definitely don't want to be in the position of struggling to find out exactly where those services are for you.
Thank you. That is great advice. All right, my next question is, what is one thing that you want all of our attendees to remember about your school?
I think for Lawrence is that it's the best of both worlds, is that you're going to get a really good academic experience and get really great skills and resources that you need to kind of go off into life after Lawrence. And then you're also going to get a really strong social community on campus and off campus. And so it really is like the students work hard and they play hard, and it's just a really great and supportive environment. And so you don't have to worry about picking like, do I want to go to the fun school or the one that's going to like give me a good major and get me a job? Like, you really do get the best of both worlds at Lawrence.
Yeah, I would just remind students that we are a small, close-knit community. A lot of student collaborations. A lot of our students are, we like to say, creative and courageous. So definitely a lot of outspoken students, and definitely people who are looking to make their mark on the world. We have tons of different majors to choose from. We offer double majors and minors and just about anything you're looking for. So that would kind of be my last 2 cents about Loyola.
I think one of the great things about Lynn is that Lynn University is built around Boca Raton and not vice versa. So you can actually maximize all your resources, numerous internships. We have 4 major international airports within an hour's drive that we go to 99% of the world. And I think the most exciting thing is we're only 20% from the state of Florida, which means that students from a different state or a different country are really going to find their niche on campus, because we're not what we call a suitcase community.
I'd say for Roehampton, it would just be that you get being in London, you have a fantastic kind of global capital city that you're studying in, but you have a small campus experience with only 9,000 students. You do still have that smaller experience on campus. Our degrees are very specialized, just due to the length in themselves. practical learning. You've got London as a playground, but you also get to study and be in kind of a quieter end, which is nice too. But yeah, highly recommend.
I think the one thing that I would drive home about Stirling is really the diversity of experience that you get on campus, because you do get that American style campus, but you're surrounded by students from all over the world, which I've always found particularly unique, having studied in the UK myself. And then on top of that, the fact that it is quite kind of a small home-like campus experience while being half an hour away from two of the biggest cities in Scotland and 5 hours away from London if you did want to pop down to Roehampton for a visit. But yeah, just the diversity of experience that you get in terms of the students that you interact with and all of the options that you have to explore within Scotland and the wider UK, I think would be the one thing to really keep in mind about Stirling.
Thank you all. All right, our last question for the evening. What is one myth about the college admission process or the transfer student process that you want to debunk this evening?
Yeah, I think for me, the myth to debunk is that you're either not prepared or like did something wrong. Those two things are not true. Like there's various paths to college. It's not the most common thing to even graduate high school and go straight off to college. And so transferring is a very normal part of the college process. And so really leaning into that is really helpful, because you're going to be more prepared than some students who even graduated high school and just started. You have that college experience to kind of guide your experiences already. And so really kind of use that for yourself as like a motivator and an empowerment kind of touch point to your college journey.
Man, this one's a difficult question. I'm going to have to go with, I think people believe that they don't need to fill out their FAFSA, and that one's definitely really, really important. Make sure you're filling out your FAFSA. People think they're not going to get any money, and I know, speaking from Loyola personally, we do give out a lot of institutional aid, and every single school is different. So just make sure you're filling out your FAFSA and trying to meet deadlines in time.
I think the biggest myth that we hear from the transfer side is that you need to know everything that you want in a new university. It's okay if you're still unsure about your major. It's okay if you're still unsure about the community. It's okay if you're still that hidden gem. Just because you're transferring to a school doesn't mean you have to have everything 100% aligned.
I would say transferring is a myth to debunk in itself for international schools. Not many students know that you can transfer, to go to a school abroad. So that's the first part. But I'd say the second part would definitely be affordability. Like Matt said, you can use federal loans to go to school abroad. We have scholarships. You can work while you're studying. There's a lot of opportunity there that I think not a lot of students know about.
Oh, Amanda definitely took something that I was going to say there, 100%. I guess the myth that I'll debunk for you then, which is kind of echoing something that's been said throughout the entirety of our webinar tonight, is the idea that you can't reach out at any stage of your application. I definitely know when I was applying to university in the United Kingdom, I thought I had to have everything in order. I couldn't reach out about anything. I had to submit it, and then I had to sit and wait for the next 6 weeks and just hope and pray that everything went all right. You can get in touch with any of us that are sat here and a number of different teams at any institution that you're looking to apply for at absolutely any point of the application process. And we are more than willing to help at every stage.
Thank you all so much for sharing that great information and really just helping transfer students understand how to navigate this process. That does bring us to the end of this session. I want to thank all of our college representatives as well as the attendees who have joined us and who will watch this later. Thank you for joining us. Please use the survey that will pop up on your screen when you close out of this window. We appreciate any feedback that you can offer us. Want to also encourage you to sign up for the other sessions that are happening this evening, and there will be more programming tomorrow. So make sure you come back and check out those sessions as well. And then this recording will be available at strivescan.com/Texas. Thank you all. Have a great evening.